Coming up on Cooking Crave, we're going to show you that breakfast isn't just a morning meal. That's all coming up. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And we have a couple recipes today that I think are, to me, breakfast isn't a morning meal. But we're going to show people that you don't have to just have these for morning.
Absolutely.
We got muffins, eggs in a muffin pan.
Yes.
Because you have to say that correct.
Okay.
And also scones, which scones to me sometimes is a dessert. It doesn't have to always be served at breakfast time either.
No, a dessert or a morning brunch.
Can be almost anything.
With coffee.
Almost anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the ingredients, if you want to go ahead and cook along with us, for the scones, you're going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1/3 cup sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, 11 tablespoons, which is a stick, plus 3 tablespoons of butter.
Yes.
Okay, that's just a different way to say it. A cup of heavy whipping cream. And then we're going to have some icing on it too. A cup of powdered sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 1/2 tablespoons of water.
Makes it simple enough, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so for the muffins, the eggs in a muffin pan, what you're going to need for those are going to be eggs, of course, and then any ingredient that you want to use, whether it be bacon or ham, cheese, and varieties of cheese. If you like pepper jack, cheddar cheese, we could put in onions, jalapenos, peppers. Really, it's whatever you want.
Yeah. And what makes it nice is that everybody in the family can have exactly what they want. You're not making the whole thing in one casserole. You're making it individualized. They can add what they want, and it'll be to their perfection.
So whatever we make in here, we're going to go ahead and transfer onto an English muffin.
English muffin, or, we're actually, I got English muffin, but what's great too is I bought the grand biscuits,
okay,
the big flaky biscuits, and that's going to be nice too, and we'll pop those in the oven. It's not too hard, so we did open the can and all of this and put them on the...
That's okay.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be homemade.
That's correct.
They're baked fresh.
They're baked fresh, and they're going to be wonderful and stuff. So,
okay, where do we want to get started then?
Well, first of all, I did put the oven on at 350 because the biscuits are 350 and the eggs are also at 350 they're both about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So let's spray our pan. And I'll give them a light coating here. And this works so great. You bake it at 350 for like 15 minutes. And, and again, it's a matter of preference. Some people like their egg yolk not broken.
Okay.
But we prefer the egg broken.
Okay.
Or another thing you can do is scramble your eggs and just pour individualized in there too, so whatever you want. So we can just get busy and crack an egg in each pan here. Kids would love being able to do this.
Well, some of these eggs are big.
Yeah,
these are farm eggs here.
Yes, they are big eggs. Okay, so we got that in there. And so now what we're going to do, I'm going to just put a little bit of pepper and salt in there.
Okay.
You can certainly wait to the end to do that if you like. But I think when you're baking and with these, if you add the seasoning in with it, it just gives it a little bit better, actually seasons it a little bit better, put it that way.
Okay.
But somebody that wants more can certainly do that. So I think this would be fun, because all the kids, or even adults, they have their preference to what they all like in there. And I made some bacon, and I've got some ham and onion and red and gold peppers. They're not quite as sharp as the green. on there. So we will, let's just go ahead and add a little bit of everything in here. Well, not to all of them, put it that way. We're going to do a couple of them here with bacon.
And you can certainly make these as hot as you want to with some specialty peppers, like jalapenos. We did talk about that earlier.
Yep. And I do have jalapenos requested especially for our cameraman. So we are going to put some jalapenos in his there. So we're going to, and you know, I think breakfast sausage would be wonderful in that too. I didn't have that here, the sausage. I just had the ham and bacon.
Okay.
But if somebody prefers that there, so, well, we'll use that up. And another thing too, I think with the kids, they probably maybe not want, you know, you got onions in there. So I'm going to do here, but I'm going to do a couple without onions here. And we also want to put some cheese in there. And as again, use your imagination with the cheese. If you like pepper jack, cheddar, or, you know, another thing, you know, what would be nice to do even if you didn't put the cheese in, or for extra cheese, because these heat up really great in the microwave. Just a few seconds in the microwave, and you can have this sandwich, you know, at lunch, or, you know, somebody's hungry, you know, you can just heat that in the microwave. And with an English muffin, if you toast it, and the egg is hot, and you can put a slice of American cheese or Velveeta cheese on there, and you can have that little extra.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, we got the oven on at 350, so we're going to put that in, and just seeing, you know, just the variety here.
Okay.
So we'll pop it in the oven, and I'm going to get a mitt. And I always think I'm not going to forget, but you know, yesterday when I was baking my bacon, I actually baked the bacon in the oven.
Okay.
And I put it on a pan, and when I dry my pans, I like to, you know, put it in the oven at the last so it dries and they don't ever rust. So we're going to put that in here. And the biscuits also is at 350 for 15 minutes, so let's get them both in there, and we'll set that timer. So that certainly wasn't difficult to assemble. I think that's a quick and easy way to make a great breakfast or a lunch.
Well, and then probably the easiest, or what you show as being so easy, probably the most time consuming is just chopping your vegetables or your hams or your meat, whatever you want to put in.
Right, that you have them ahead of time and stuff like that, absolutely.
But when you have ham, I mean, certainly you can make little pieces like that and freeze it, and you can make it a lot simpler if you plan ahead.
And you know, and that's takes so much work out of cooking, is planning ahead and just being able to whip it through, or something like, you know, doing it the night before and waking up and just being able to put that breakfast together. You know, that's the way you want to do it. Okay, so we'll just get this cleaned up here a little bit. And I'll have you get 2 sticks of butter out of the fridge. And I like to use a pastry sheet for to roll that out on. And we'll just, and you do want cold butter.
Okay.
So we're going to add a third, we started with 2 1/4 cups flour.
Okay.
I put that in here already. And now a 1/3 cup sugar.
Okay.
And then a teaspoon of baking powder. There we go. And just making sure we have that. And it's really simple. So now we're going to add our butter.
Okay.
And I'm going to just get a knife too. And you don't want to melt your butter. You want your butter cold.
Okay.
And you're going to just work it in there. So like it says, 11 tablespoons, which is 1 stick and 3 tablespoons. Easier to count that way. So I'm going to just mark 3 right here to take that off of this. And so I'm just going to cut them into little patties. And you can use a pastry blender in there, or do the well, you know what I'm talking about. A pastry.
I think it's called a pastry knife, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Or my hands.
Okay.
And I usually always have my hands. I don't always have a pastry brusher or a mixer, but. And I think growing up we didn't have all those those fancier gadgets and stuff, so we just used our hands. And it's easier to get the feel and be able to work the dough in that. So it's going to be a little bit of, crumbly.
Okay.
It's not going to be real smooth, and that's not what you want either and stuff. So like I said, just cut your butter into little patties, and so you can work that. And then we're going to have a cup of cold cream.
Okay. Well, I think this is probably how a lot of people grew up mixing stuff together, because
You have...
it wasn't, I mean, that like you said, you always had your hands.
You have your hands. And the thing is, you get the feel of the dough and the texture, where when you're using a pastry knife and that in there, it isn't as, like I said, you just don't have that feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we will add our cream. Oh, look at this.
Get a spatula.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my whisk
Okay.
just to get that blended a little bit more, because, it's the liquid.
So it's actually going to be a very thick batter, though.
It is. And see, the thing is, and I should have just
used your hands.
just used my hands. Now I have to work this dough out. So when it says, use a whisk and all of that, yeah. So we're just gonna get this dough out of here and work it together a little bit. You do not want to overwork the dough.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to put it on the pastry sheet and just kind of knead it a little bit, but you don't want to overwork it. It's not like you're making your bread that you really, the longer you knead it, the better it is.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a lot of work getting this out of here, isn't it?
Just bang it a couple times.
Just yeah.
You just don't want it to fly all over.
Yeah. I think we're pretty good with that. Okay. So just to mix it just a little bit more, and then I'm going to pour it on my pastry sheet.
Okay. Move this stuff over.
Okay, so I'm going to just put that out like that. And got my bowl there, and just kind of squeeze that in together a little bit. And we've made some scones on before, and a little different recipes and that. So this is, I had some of these were served already that I've eaten, and they're excellent. It's been one of my favorite recipes for scones. So just work it enough that you have it all stuck together. And if you're using a pastry sheet, I have found that I do not use flour on it. You don't need to add extra flour.
Okay.
Okay, so we can see that that's, and you don't even see any little chunks of butter anymore. It's all worked in. So we're going to just pat that down, and we'll cut that. You want it about a 1/4 inch thick, that so.
So are we going to use a rolling pin to do this, or you're just doing it all by hand?
I'm just going to pat it all down. And now you can see that the consistency of the dough, it looks like it's going to be maybe not enough liquid in there or whatever, but it has a nice, everything's sticking well, texture's good.
Okay.
And this is going to bake at 375 for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
You know, just till they're a nice light golden brown. Okay, there. And what we're going to use to cut it is a pizza cutter.
Now, is this one of these pans that we don't need to spray?
Correct. I do not want to spray that pan. So let's just cut it, quarter it like that, and then we cut it there again. And like I said, with the pastry, these pizza cutters now, they're so great. You could use them and you're not going to be cutting, you know, your plastic pastry sheet or whatever. And you can make them the size if you want, but I think, you know, a couple of these, we don't want them too big, so let's just put them on our pan.
Okay.
But we don't want them too close because they will rise a little bit there.
Okay.
And we're going to, there.
So we're not going to get them all on the same pan to go in originally.
That's correct. And the pan that I want to use is the other pan that I've got my biscuits on.
Okay.
Because this particular size pan, I can put 2 in long ways without, you know, using 2 shells,
Okay.
2 of the racks and
Okay.
stuff. So that's just going to be perfect, and we'll be able to take those biscuits out, and we'll be able to just finish putting these on there. So they're ready to go. And while we're waiting for that, let's just mix up our frosting,
Okay.
you know, because that won't take very long. So we're starting out with a cup of powdered sugar
Okay.
and vanilla. I think I'll get my vanilla right here. I found my vanilla. I just had put it in with some other recipes. It says about a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So there we go there.
Okay.
And a tablespoon and a half of water. You don't want to start with too much because you can always add more. And it doesn't take much for powdered sugar to get thin. See, just with that tablespoon and a half of water,
Okay.
you can just see how that it
If you
is.
wouldn't want any more, it will
No.
be too runny.
That's right. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to separate part of this. So I'm going to grate some lemon
zest.
Lemon,
Okay.
put some lemon zest in there, and then put some almond extract in the other portion of it.
Okay.
And stuff. So, but I think what we're going to do is just set this aside for the moment, and you know, our eggs in a muffin pan. Got 1 minute, and we'll check them. We'll check
Okay.
to make sure that the egg is baked and it's. I'll just put a spatula in and kind of pick up the side
Okay.
to see if we need to bake it any longer than that. So, okay, so we're just gonna wait. It's on 1 minute. It must be ready to almost go. So, you know, I'm going to use this spatula because it's easy to mix that, pick that side up of the egg.
Okay.
So, well, there. And we'll set this aside and get my There we go. I'll just turn off the buzzer there. Okay. That looked good.
Well, and they just stay so self-contained too. You're not having them run all over. So the muffin pan's actually a pretty ingenious idea.
It is. You know, they're pretty. I'm going to put it back in just maybe a minute at the most. They're almost, you know, I feel they're pretty well done, but I don't want any runny yolk. But our biscuits are done.
Okay.
So we'll take them out and let's just put them on a plate.
Okay. Let them cool off a little bit.
Yes.
Hot.
And that's, like I said, it's just the perfect size for that egg.
So it's whatever you prefer. If you prefer a biscuit or you prefer more of a muffin, or English muffin, I should say. Just depends on what kind of bread you want.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, you know, if you're baking your biscuits, you're making a whole pan. But if you only have 1 or 2 eggs left, you probably want to use, you know, English muffin. So we'll do there, and we got more, and see, that's just perfect there. And we'll take our pastry sheet away.
All right.
And we'll just get out a plate just to put some of the egg bake on it. And I'm going to put my oven up to 375 now, so I can just pop my scones in there. And like I said, it just works really well with the little shorter jelly roll pan. And I'm going to put the timer on for 20 minutes. Okay. There. Okay, let's bring these over and
Great.
be able to.
They're all just
bring
smelling
them
so
out.
awesome right now.
And, you know, we had you know, our eggs were generous size.
But you know,
And-
they're
but, you
bubbling.
know-
That's just the cheese part of it.
Yeah, it is, but it's just nice and soft there. And let's see, from there, and that's, and like I said, when we're checking on the side there, you know, another thing I think that would be excellent would be, you know, making like a spinach, tomato, mushroom.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, be more like an omelet, and that would be really good. So, as we're taking those out.
We got an egg cup. That's basically what these are. It's just the egg cups.
Just very, yes, and it just makes a really hearty breakfast sandwich or lunch or snack.
Well, in just a couple seconds in the microwave, like you said earlier, warms them up, and you can have a hot meal at almost any time.
Yeah. And something I think, you know, the family, the kids will really enjoy, but yet it's not always that cookie or candy or something that they're thinking that they really want. This is just going to satisfy them. But we're going to just take biscuit here and cut that in half. Now, do you remember which ones have the jalapenos in for our cameraman?
This one right here.
Right there, okay. And these are, you know, flaky biscuits, you know, you'll just pull apart like that, and we're going to just put one on top of there. And if they want to add a little bit more pepper and salt, we sure can do that. That makes a hearty sandwich, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
You're not going to need too many of these to fill you up.
Not at all. But they're going to be so good. Well, our scones are just about done.
Okay.
So while those are about finished, we had started before putting one of our eggs in a muffin tin and stuff there. So let's go ahead and put another one on here.
Okay.
And then I went and I toasted an English muffin. And you'll have a little less bread than the biscuit. and stuff, but you know, that's going to be just great.
Just again.
Yeah,
just what you want.
absolutely. So here's our frosting. You know, nice consistency with that. And I'm going to just take a little bit out because I want to do put some almond flavoring in there. And this one I want to do a little bit of lemon zest in there.
Okay.
So we can just get that almond there and a little bit there and just
So
have
you
you.
think probably about a 1/4 teaspoon you probably put in?
Yes, that's plenty
Or an
because there's not a lot in there. So just take your lemon and just, you know, put a little lemon zest in. Again, it's a matter of how much you would like. But I really love the flavor of lemon, and it just smells so good and fresh. So I'm gonna put about a couple of tablespoons in there. So,
Okay.
well, hey, there is our scones. So let's go over here and then turn that off, and get my trusty mitt, and we'll bring them out. Okay, see, that was 20 minutes at 375. They're just lightly golden brown there.
A little bit of golden on the bottom.
Yes. So we're going to bring that here, and I'll let you mix this up.
Okay.
And I'm just going to take these out here. And I didn't spray my cookie sheet, but it doesn't need to be sprayed. It has that coating on that really, I think we sometimes overspray, and you know, our Teflon gets sticky, you know, because of it. So just really definitely learning not to spray too much. So we're going to take our frosting here, and let's just drizzle a little bit of there on, and just and you certainly can make some designs there if you like, but
I think it just
So-
depends on how much you want, how much extra sugar you want.
absolutely and stuff. So, you know, and just to show, you know, our viewers how flaky our scones are, they are just you can just see how light and flaky they are.
Absolutely.
That just excellent. So
One right out of the oven, they're just going to be the best because right now,
absolutely.
I always feel bad for our viewers because they don't get to actually taste it, but they can. I know that they're smelling it.
Well, you know, that's the very good part of it and stuff. So
To get these recipes, just go to our website, www.ctctel.com. Please submit your recipes for us to cook for you. We'd certainly love to have any of those recipes. And as always, thank you to the Workshop for being our sponsor. Have a great evening.